Hi, and welcome to the NFFL Week 3 recap. Just got done getting my little boy ready for bed, and he's going to help me out since his mother is preoccupied at the moment. So, say hi, Jacob. Alright, so Week 3. Wasn't really any close games this week. So wasn't a lot of interest really going on late into Sunday or around Monday. A lot of the games were already wrapped up pretty early, and just weren't any close games. We're going to go through them anyways. First up, we had Eskimo Brothers at Sundays. Basically, I was projected to win by a pretty substantial amount of points this week, and basically the story is here that Macklin went insane, and Larry Murphy for Sundays decided he was going to have more receiving yards than Miles Austin, Roddy White, and Wes Welker, and Dallas Carr combined. So when that happens, I'm going to be in trouble. So Dan/Kimmy, I don't know really what's going on there. Something about Favre, and Kimmy loves him almost as much as Muddy the Mud Hen. But they soundly beat me. So next up, we have the Oracle at Team Hasselhoff. I predicted an upset here, that Matt would beat my brother. I thought that my brother would struggle with a lot of his matchups this past week, and that Matt would win based on my brother struggling. But Matt did win, but it actually had nothing at all to do with my brother struggling. It really had more to do with Matt just playing really, really well. So Matt picks up a big win there. Next up, Gridiron at Fear of Heights. Bill put up a pretty decent day, based only on the double dipping of Peyton Manning and Austin Collie. They combined for over 60 points themselves, but unfortunately no one else did anything for his team. And Randy put up a pretty strong week, where McFadden played well, Mendenhall, Moss, and the Eagles all played very well, and he has some contribution from other players to move to 3-0. So it's a pretty good start for Mr. Height there after missing the playoffs last year. Next up, we got Weapon X at Twin City Tundra. I predicted a Weapon X win, I believe, and he has some pretty strong games out of Drew Brees and Anquan Boldin, combined for over 60 points. Gates chips in with 17, and that was pretty much the story of this matchup. James had respectable 80-plus points, but was never really in the hunt after Brees and Boldin went off. Next up, we had Ninja Turtles at Icon City Excitement. Romo, Bradshaw, and Steven Jackson led the way for Andrew. And once again, Randy Turco had really good games from Brady and the Pittsburgh D, but no one else did anything. If he can get some supporting cast members via trade or free agent wires or something like that, then he's going to have a pretty good team. But he needs some help. Personally, I think his wide receivers are underperforming a little bit, and Oshocinco and Driver especially will be contributing more weeks than not, and he should have a decent team. They're just not putting up the points right now for some reason. And then next up, we have Motor City Freshman at Turf Toes. And this was kind of similar to Icon City Excitement, where Doug had Rodgers and AP explode, but like nothing else went right for his team. And Turf Toes led the week in scoring. He got a monster game from newly acquired Michael Vick, going off for almost 40, and Deshaun was obviously receiving some of those passes, had a pretty big game as well. His running backs still aren't performing, and he put up a pretty solid score, so that's going to be a team to be reckoned with. Alright, so that brings us to the Bonehead Move of the Week. Personally, I think that was Mr. Randy Height. I really didn't think that him trading away Forte and Big Ben for McNabb, Zach Miller, and Spiller was a good trade. I don't think Spiller's going to have that much value this year in fantasy. I think he's a great back and he could do some damage in the future, but Buffalo is just not a good team right now. I like Zach Miller a lot, but I don't really like McNabb on the Redskins. But, the move paid off for him in a way because he got the win that he wanted this week in playing McNabb. But I think he traded Forte away kind of cheap. Genius move of the week was the other side of that trade with my brother getting Forte and Big Ben there. It was a pretty big trade for his team, I thought. And the Wes and Logan trade, I thought, was genius for both teams. I really think that the acquisition of Bolden for Wes and Vic, obviously with the Cobb situation for Logan, just really paid off big dividends for Logan. All right, on to predictions for Week 4. First up, we have Sundays at Team Hasselhoff. No real key buys to speak of this week. The bye week starting in Week 4 for some reason. I never really understood this NFL. Stop doing this crap. It's ridiculous. Basically here, I think that Arian Foster, Michael Turner, and Macklin are going to have some pretty big games for Sundays. And for Matt, I think that Rivers, Benson, and Keller are going to do really well. Overall matchups in this game, I think look pretty comparable, but I think Matt has a better team, and he's going to go to 3-1. Next up, we have Fear Heights at the Oracle. No real key buys in this match, and it's a critical match for the Oracle. He's sitting at 1-2, and Randy's at 3-0. Chris is getting dangerously close to must-win. Not quite a must-win yet, but it's getting there. Height's going to have strong performances from McFadden and Andre Johnson. I think they have really good matchups. Zach Miller could also do well. For Chris, I think that Matt Ryan is playing really well, and I think that Frank Gore is a beast, and Forte is a really good matchup as well. And Marshall and Fitz are going to play well, and I think Matt Forte is going to burn his previous owner this week, and my brother's going to pull off the win here. And the last matchup in the Lombardi division, which I might add has 5 of the top 6 scoring teams so far. Dominating this league, this division is key buy here, Miles Austin for me. That's a pretty big loss this week. This is also a critical match where I'm sitting at 1-2, and I'm needing to win pretty badly. Bill catches me on a week where I lose Miles Austin, which is pretty critical, and Peyton Manning takes on the Jacksonville Jaguars. If Peyton Manning doesn't get 30 this week, then I don't know what's going to happen. And Bill has some of the Colts receivers, so the question here is, can I overcome this? I think I'm going to have really good games from Chris Johnson. LT's going into the starting lineup. Roddy White and Clark, they all have great matchups. And I think this is going to be enough to overtake Bill's team that just is going to struggle with drafting Stewart in the second round. That's really hurting his team, and I don't think he's going to be able to hang with me. I picked me to win. Over to the Landry division, we have Motor City Freshness at Weapon X. Important match for Doug here, sitting at 1-2, taking out the 3-0 Weapon X. Key buys, both for Doug, hurting bad here, losing AP and Wayne Bowe. So Doug is going to be in a little bit of a hole, but we'll see if his team can overcome this loss of bye weeks. QBs both have good matches. They're going to wash out. I don't think Motor City Freshness' running backs are all that great with the loss of AP this week. But they have great matchups. And Wes has McCoy that'll do well and has the edge at wide receiver. I'm looking here for a Weapon X victory and Wes to go to 4-0. Next up, we have Twin City Tundra at the Ninja Turtles. Key bye weeks this week are Jamal Charleston and Percy Harvin for James, and Andrew's going to lose Romo for the week. It's a must-win for Twin City Tundra sitting at 0-3. I think he's going to see some good play from Schaub, and will MJD bounce back against the Colts. That's a matchup where he can run, I think. but his wide receivers are going to be lacking. I think it's going to come down to Matt Hasselbeck for Ninja Turtles. If he plays well, I think then Andrew's going to win this matchup. If he doesn't, it's going to be close. But I do think he's going to play well. I think he's been playing well this year, and I think he's a little underrated, going under the radar. I think Ninja Turtles pulls off this win. And the final matchup is Icon City's Excitement at Turf Toes. The key bye weeks here. Randy's getting hit hard, losing Thomas Jones, Des Bryant, and Jason Witten. So he has some bye week issues. Brady and Vic, I think, are going to wash. Vic's got a pretty good matchup. Vic has a tough matchup, and so does Brady. And I also think that Logan has better running backs. Their matches are really tough. Rice, for example, has Pittsburgh, and no one runs on the Steelers. I mean, I just see it week after week. They just stop the run. No one runs on them. I think that Randy's running backs have good matchups. So that'll be interesting to see how those running backs go up against each other. Wide receivers for each team are solid, and it's kind of tough to differentiate between the two, in my opinion. And it's going to come down to whether or not the running backs for Icon City Excitement can do anything, since I think his wide receivers are going to play well. And I am predicting that they will play well, and that Randy's going to pull off the victory. So that's it for the Week 4 preview. Nothing else really to note at this moment. Just really enjoying the league this year. We got a great bunch of guys, and it's been active and a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to this continuing the rest of the year. And it should be a great year. So good luck to everyone this week, and I hope you do well, except for Gridiron, I believe is who I play, right? Yeah. Bill, I'm not wishing you luck this week, buddy. Sorry. So, also, apologize I didn't get out on Tuesday like I normally do. My wife and I wanted to watch Get Him to the Greek. Both were excited about that movie. Can't ever go out to see movies anymore because of the little ones. Apparently 1-year-olds don't do well in theaters. But we were excited about that movie because we like Forgetting Sarah Marshall a lot. And I was excited because my boy Ruxin from the league has a cameo in the movie, so I was looking forward to it. Unfortunately, there was about 4 or 5 spots where I was like laughing out loud and almost in tears. I thought it was so funny, but overall, I thought the movie actually kind of sucked. But that's why we're a day late. We had a movie night last night, so hope you enjoyed it. And say bye, Jacob. Bye. Say bye. Alright, so good luck.